Hi, for the media advocacy video, I'm going to be discussing the policy of decriminalization of drug use. The target population for this policy would be voters. Obviously, in order to decriminalize drug use, we would need voters to agree that that is a policy that would be changed legally. So voters would be my target population for media advocacy items. Voters are ages 18 to the age of the deceased, so however long someone lives. So my target media populations would need to be people of many different ages. With that said, I have 3 different items that I think would be appropriate for this specific policy. The first one would be a podcast. I believe a podcast would be a good source of media advocacy because it would apply to a large age group. There could be people in their early 20s, people in their 60s, all that listen to podcasts. I think podcasts especially are relevant to students who are in school because often podcasts come up as part of a homework assignment or classroom material. So I think that that would be a useful source to discuss the negatives and positives associated with decriminalizing drug use and helping provide information about that specific subject. The next media item I think would be useful would be TV commercials. I specifically chose this media item because it would reach not only younger voters, but often it would reach our older voters as well. Unlike social media, Facebook, etc., a lot of older users still continue to watch TV, and so TV commercials would be able to provide 30-second opportunities of ways that we can provide information about decriminalization of drug use. So within the 30 seconds, we could discuss the impact that decriminalizing drug use would have on taxpayers, how it affects the society as a whole, and perhaps we could have somebody who's actually been in prison because of drug crimes that could discuss how they would have benefited from receiving resources with the funding used to keep them in prison, instead of using that funding to put them in prison. And so that would be a good source for maybe older populations that are in the voter group. Lastly, I think a photo on Facebook that includes a link that would help someone access a website with more information would be appropriate. If we were to use a catchy photo of someone that was describing their experience as an offender of a drug-related crime who had been incarcerated, who would have been able to change their habits and their life around more easily if they would have instead sought out treatment resources or been mandated to seek out treatment resources instead of being incarcerated. I think that image could be very powerful for a lot of our younger voter groups, especially if that image on Facebook were to provide a link that can help them access more information on a specific website. That would help open up more opportunity for people to learn about the impact that this subject, this policy is having on our community as a whole. So podcasts, TV commercials, photos on Facebook. My plan is that these 3 items of media advocacy would reach different population ages, and it would help provide our message of the effects of decriminalizing drug use in multiple ways, verbal, as in podcast, visual with the TV, and tactile when people are scrolling through Facebook on their photos on Facebook. So 3 different ideas. Thank you.